Happy Friday Fun Day, everyone. Well, this is probably going to be as slapdash as they get because I'm going to have like 5 minutes to upload this when I get home, probably. So what we're talking about this week is habits of our favorite writers. So I picked a couple of them that I mentioned in the first video, Lois McMaster Bujold and Brandon Sanderson. So in researching Lois McMaster Bujold, I learned that she is actually kind of a lot like I am, just slightly more dedicated maybe. But she writes when inspiration strikes, pretty much. She says that she can go for days to weeks at a time without writing, but then when a scene comes into her head, she's got to get it all down because she can't just carry it in her brain that long. It just kind of upsets her life. So she'll sit down and get a scene out in like a day or two, and then, you know, the next time inspiration strikes, she gets it down. She's written tons of books though, so she's, you know, doing pretty well for herself. But another thing she said that she does is she has a rather dedicated test reading group, and so she says that it's a psychological crutch of hers that she would send her chapters or scenes that she finished, and she used to mail them, but now with email it's a lot easier, but she'd send them out and have her test group read them and send her any feedback at all before she could really continue with it, even if it's just like a great, keep going kind of thing. So I kind of identify with that a little bit, which is kind of nice to hear that from a favorite author, that she has some of the similar hang-ups that I tend to have. But then I researched Brandon Sanderson, who is a machine. With the number of books he's put out, the length of the books that he's put out, it's been pretty incredible. But pretty much like his main writing habit is just consistency. He says if he gets hung up, he'll go for a walk, either I guess outdoors or on his treadmill. And he'll walk, he'll listen to music, he'll take a little break with his family, whatever, until he can get going again. And then he just picks up where he left off, and he says that he writes about 8 hours a day, you know, does a 40-hour work week. It's just his work ethic. You know, he just loves it. At least he loves writing that much, and he doesn't want to quit, and he doesn't want to slack off, so he writes like it's his job. And he puts out books like it's his job too. But he also has a habit of, even though, you know, he says he writes slow, but a lot. And so he can put out a whole book, like a 300,000 word book, but he doesn't work it to perfection before submitting it to his editors like Patrick Rothfuss might. So it's not as lyrical, but at least it's the story, you know, so he's not as perfectionist, but he is very dedicated. He also says that he'll take breaks between big books, so like he'll finish a book or a series, and then he'll stop and take a break and write either a shorter book or, you know, a novella or something like that, maybe not even in the same world, so that he's not really continuing on, so he has some time away from those things that he's been focused so strongly on. What was the other thing? Oh, he's an outliner, so he's a planner, versus Lois McMaster Bujold, who's pretty much just a pantser, kind of like I am. But he will have, like, when he creates an outline, he likes to have, like, I guess it's like a page per book when he starts a series, but then after that, like when he revamps his outline, he says his normal rule of thumb is like 10,000 words in an outline to every 100,000 words in a book, which, you know, that's math that I don't do. But I really applaud him. So that's, you know, two very disparate authors that I enjoy highly. I enjoy their work very much. They're both sci-fi fantasy. And you might like, so Brandon Sanderson is pretty well known right now. He's written the Mistborn series, the Steelheart series, which I love. What's his most, oh, he finished up the Robert Jordan series, and he's written quite a few others in various worlds. It's really cool. And then Lois McMaster Bujold, you may have heard of her. She has written, her most famous series is the Miles Verkosigan series, and she's written The Sharing Knife. But my very favorite of hers is The Curse of Caelyon, and that's a full-on fantasy, and it is mind-blowing, and I love it so much. And I hope that she continues writing, but she says that she, you know, she enjoys her leisure time too. Well, anyway, it sounds like things are getting serious here in town, so I'm going to shut this down, and I'm probably not even going to edit it, so you're going to get it raw, because I got to, you know, set this out as soon as I get home tonight. So I hope you guys have a great week. Tomorrow, I think, is Lydia, and then I think the following week we're going to be changing some things up. So I will see you next time, and have great writing.